For FoxSports.com's NFL Draft coverage presented by Axe Shower Gel, I'm Laura Oakman, joined by Charles Davis, Brian Billick. The St. Louis Rams, after trading down twice, finally picked a player. They go with the guy whose buzzword about him has been potential. They go with Michael Brockers' potential upside. I mean, that's kind of all we hear about him. Redshirt sophomore, just 14 starts. What did they see in him to pick him this high?
Well, he's a guy who's a great run defender right now. I mean, that's not a problem for him. That's what he does. I know he's only had the 1 year of starts, as you alluded to, a redshirt sophomore, but big body kid, good movement, all right? He's a guy who's got a nice little motor on him. They think they can teach him to do a better job in terms of pass rushing, and that'll come along as he gets older. But you know what you're getting right away. You're going to get a consistent player who can play inside for the Rams, which will only help their guys outside right now because you got the kid last year, Quinn from North Carolina. You've got, of course, Chris Long, who had a big year last year playing in the proper defensive end spot. They're trying to fortify the defense as a whole.
Yeah, St. Louis for years has put a lot of assets in the defensive line. It really hasn't paid off. But you talk about a potential. You don't mind taking a chance on a potential on a defensive lineman. You know, the prototype now going forward is going to be Jason Pierre-Paul in taking a chance on a guy. Not that he is this kind of player, but if you take a chance on a defensive lineman, because if you hit it, it has a huge impact on your team. This is a big, solid player that does have a big upside. Obviously, Jeff Fisher and the conversion to the defense they're going to. What do we always say? You want to build inside out. He's got Chris Long on the outside. Good move on the inside. All
right, so you said let's not compare him to Jason Pierre-Paul, but with this upside, with this potential, with this coaching of Jeff Fisher and this new staff, he has the potential to be what? What do you see when you look at him and go, this is what he could be?
Just that good, solid inside player that's going to gobble up blocks, give you a little bit of pass rush from the inside as well. And again, not that he's that freakish talent, that end rush that Jason Pierre-Paul. Just you're betting on an upside. You were betting on all come for the Jason Pierre-Paul and the upside that he had. In that regard, he can be like that, and you don't mind doing that on a big athlete. It's hard to find those guys on the interior defensive line with that kind of athletic ability.
And it also tells you what the Rams thought of the receiving core after Michael Floyd was off the board, after Justin Blackmon's off the board, because consensus was they've got to get Sam Bradford some weapons to throw to outside. That's why we all thought Blackmon would go there if the Rams stuck in their original position, well, second position, which was 6, original position, which was earlier than that at 2.
They're going to have an option in that early second round with the other extra picks they picked up. I'd be very surprised if the next pick isn't at wide receiver.
Right. Wide receiver and offensive line? Are we talking about protecting Sam too, or do you feel like wide receiver is a bigger need right now than O-line?
Probably wide receiver for me. They got Scott Wells in the offseason to put in the middle. Saffold, let him continue to develop. I would think receivers are bigger.
I agree totally. I know they want to move Saffold to the right side, but he played pretty well as a rookie on the left side. They can get by there until they find somebody else.
For all your draft coverage, make sure to keep it logged on right here to FoxSports.com's NFL Draft coverage presented by Axe Shower Gel.